Now, in a new educational initiative, school teachers are to be taught how to copy the body language of their pupils in an effort to reduce bad behaviour. It's hoped that by copying their gestures, posture, facial expressions and mannerisms, teachers should be able to read their pupils' subconscious messages and therefore build trust. But how aware are we of our own and others' body language, and do we use it to get our own way sometimes, ladies? Are we manipulative with it? Go on, Leslie.
Did you see that?
Talk to me.
That's
Sorry,
not right,
that's naughty.
It is naughty. Stop doing that. Anyway, making some of us feel a bit inferior over here. But, no, body language, I think I am quite aware of body language, actually. I can't believe they've suggested that teachers start doing it. Just teach them how to read and write, that's all we want, really, isn't it? But I think they're just trying to anything. They're going to try anything now, aren't they, in schools? But for me, personally, I am quite aware of what I do. And I sort of started it very early on in life, where there was a friend of my mother's who had a really problematic child, and attention-seeking child all the time. She was exhausted, this woman. And I was 13, and I just said, I'll come and babysit for you. I must have had a flipping out-of-body experience or something. But I remember going into that house, and this kid screamed for 2.5 hours, and I ignored her, absolutely ignored her, and read a book for 2.5 hours. And in the end, she was like... You know, when they're so worn out. And she just climbed up onto my lap, and she just said, why aren't you taking any notice of me? And I said, because I'm reading my book. Now, if you want to go to sleep, go to sleep. And she just went to sleep, and I put her in bed. And when they came back, I said, she's been an angel all night. But I think giving too much attention to children, you know, just... So
you don't think that parroting their body language is necessary?
No.
Because you did the extreme opposite in that instance.
Yeah, ignore it.
No, but
I think
you see,
sometimes
you weren't emotionally connected to the child, whereas the mother would be, so you could do that being calm thing with the really calm body language. And that's what teachers, obviously, have to try and do as well. And they do a brilliant job, teachers, and, you know, they do have to try everything to, you know, to be able to get across to their children. But I'm not entirely sure that mimicking a child's body language is going to engender respect in the child. I think the child maybe should be learning more from the teachers better body language, so I'm not quite sure about that. I'd like to hear a bit more about that.
What about your own body language?
Well, as a mum, I think, well, you know, you'll know that you when they're little, all you have is your body language to communicate, because obviously, you know, you haven't got a verbal language as yet.
You're like a traffic cop for the first year,
you
aren't you?
No, yeah, over there, stop. But you do develop a lot of very positive ways of convincing the child, you know, or encouraging the child and showing them what they're doing is good, and you encourage them in that way, don't you? And I think we do take that then into our adult life, because a lot of what we say is unsaid, isn't it? It's through the body. I think
you also forget with young children what sponges they are.
Absolutely.
You know, I sat down with Ben yesterday, and I had a magazine in front of me, and he sat on my lap, and he went... started...
No!
Turning the pages. Not taught him that. That's something he's absorbed. So it starts very early on.
Yeah.
But I suppose what we do with it in order to get our children to do what we want is kind of interesting, because kids are so easy to read in a way that, I mean, we were chatting this morning, and I've got a bit of a cold, you might be able to hear. So I was feeling a bit today, like I was trying to give myself a bit of a hug, but that could look defensive, like I wasn't enjoying your company, girls, and I was. So I think sometimes body language can be, you can read too much into it.
No, I don't. I think it's a really useful tool. I think there is a whole proper language that we just don't understand, and that there's like a lot of the police, you know, when they're like interviewing criminals and stuff, actually read what they're doing, the fidgeting and everything like that. Politicians are trained to use body language when they're making speeches, aren't they? And that, you know, when you're acting as well, it's really strange how if you want to appear strong in a shot or a strong character, you don't use your hands, you don't move, you just speak and you just make eye contact with somebody, and then you look as though you know what you're talking about. It's not working with me because I don't ever know what I'm talking about. But it's really it's a fascinating thing. And sometimes if someone hugs you, have they ever done? I won't, because you've got a cold, I won't hug you. Come here.
Thanks.
Come here. Go like that, and someone hugs you, and then they pat you on the back like that. Then you know it's over, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like this sort of telling you, that's it, that's finished now.
And there's always that old one, isn't there, when the husband comes in, and, you know, it's that, what's up with you, then? Nothing? That's all you have to do, isn't it?
There's a novel right there, a million words in none. OK, if you...